anyways.
That's gonna be
Every time I hurt,
Watch out, vehicle stopped on shoulder ahead.
I'm gonna run or a race and like, ooh,
639 is the honest.
And then I think of Camille, and she's like, just do it, just run anyways. And then I usually walk.
Yeah, my instinct is like, wow, I'm not Camille.
Yeah.
I mean, think about how many things could go wrong.
So many, right?
Holy fuck.
Breaking news?
We have breaking news.
That's not breaking news. That's like the Avengers.
No, that's like a BBC thing, right?
You gotta do the other one. Yeah.
There you go.
What is it? Do you have?
Rachel's leaving.
What?
Where's she going?
Forever.
Fuck.
Oh,
I am?
Yes.
Yeah.
I hate it.
You have to speak to the nation.
Yeah, you have to
They
tell
need to
them.
know, because when people leave and they don't talk about it like everybody else that's left, people feel empty inside. So you need to help them
You
get the
need to
sad
explain
end.
it to them.
Yeah, tell them where you're
Oh.
going and why.
I thought we were gonna get in a big fight and then just leave it.
Well, we're working on that. If you want, just get in the fucking way.
Jesus Christ. Just get the fuck out.
Yeah, right? So, we are moving to Bozeman, Montana.
Why are you moving to fucking Montana?
I have no idea. We just...
Sounds good.
It's a good plan.
I guess
That's all we have for today.
All right, so that's our show. Bye.
I don't know if you remember earlier in the show, we had this motivational poster
Be consistent.
called Be Consistent.
Yeah.
And I can't think of anything that's more opposite than what I am on the inside. So we just decided this summer, after the whole coronavirus and world unrest, that we were like, I don't know that living the way we are living right now is sustainable. So
In terms of like committing, greenhouse gases or
Right.
I don't know, I'm fucking drunk.
okay. So she's drunk.
I remember you guys took a trip out west
Yeah.
this summer, right?
Yes.
And you were going to go to Bozeman, Montana, I
So
think, or
here-
Montana, and then, hold on,
Okay.
let me sum up your
He
vacation.
remembers it better than you do.
Well, I'm just going to sum up a little.
No, I mean,
He's
she's
not
fucking
drunk.
drunk.
She has no
You
idea.
are.
So they're gonna go to Montana. They're going on vacation, and it took them like a month to get there.
It did. It took them
They
a long
spent like
time.
Yeah, we were like are we
9
there
days
yet?
in like Deadwood,
But they took the long route.
Well, Deadwood
and
is
then they
hometown.
finally get to Bozeman, and they're like, "We might move here," and I'll be like, "You've been there for like 6 hours.
Well,
Gotta go home.
Gotta go home now."
here's
That's
the
all right.
really bizarre thought process. So we made it through the quarantine for like April and May, and when we were going through it, I thought, okay, we just gotta make it through this, and then things are gonna go back to normal. And then all of the like riots after the George Floyd happened, and I thought it wasn't just that, it was other things too. I thought, I don't think things are going back to normal. I think this is going to change the way we live, like a lot. And then Brian was also going through that at work, and he thought, I don't know that I'm ever going back to the office. And then we thought, well, why are we here? And if something really
Why are any of us here?
Right. If something really catastrophic happened to us in Chicago, with what we're paying for rent, school, and everything else, we wouldn't be okay. So why don't we take a look at what we could do to change that? And so my first thought was, well, we should move to Marquette, Michigan, because I really like it there. I'm from Michigan. I love Marquette. I love winter. I love Lake Superior. And so we started looking at that. And then Brian's like, well, why don't we just move out of the Midwest and go someplace completely new? And I'm like, well, where? Because everywhere in the mountains is expensive or so remote that it would be really bad to raise a child there. And so we started looking at different places and balancing like expense versus isolation versus like, would we really want to live there? And we came upon Montana. And
It's beautiful. I mean,
And-
I've been there a
and-
couple of times, and it's really beautiful.
and we took a trip out there, and it's just gorgeous. And so we decided to go.
And you leave when?
We haven't set a move out date yet, but soon. sometime in September.
And you will be back to visit not at all because there's no reason to come here.
That's not true. We might be back for badger races, stuff like that.
Cool.
Yeah, I mean, my family still lives in Michigan, so we may pass through or come for the badger trail races, you know?
Well, you're the longest tenured guest host in the history of the show.
Wow,
No one's guest hosted more shows than you.
that's crazy.
Although, I don't know, we got to factor in a little bit that you no-showed at the... No, I still think categorically you were here before them, and you were here regularly, so, in the beginning.
I have skipped a lot of shows, though.
Yeah, no, I was trying to do that math in my head and decided to just give you the benefit of the doubt, because it's your last day, and we're going to talk shit about your next show anyway, so...
Oh, totally. It's like the whole theme of next show, right?
Like, is that really the hill I need to die on? You know, you didn't come to enough shows to, you know, I always got you, you know.
I don't know. I still miss the OG crew
No,
when I listen.
well, they're not coming back.
No, I mean, they're not. But I kind of feel for the listeners who are like, oh, no, not another change. You know?
Well, it's kind of helps soften the blow that you've no-showed, you know, 50% of the last 6 months shows.
That kinda helps.
You know?
Yeah, it's like it's soft.
It's like when you're here, it's a bonus. When you're not here, nobody's sad right now. You're like, well, is Rachel going to be? I don't know. It's kind of like when Tony took me aside to say that, like, he was like, I need to talk to you. Please. I don't want to talk on the show anymore. And I'm like, are you talking now?
Were you talking before?
I think you should title the show "Rachel's Back."
Rachel's back. Yeah.
Yeah.
So now we have
really
to.
fuck people up like
So we have to find your successor or successors, maybe more than one. And
Do you have any suggestions?
anybody you want to take your place?
But now I feel pressure.
Yeah.
Like, if you don't choose that person, what?
Yeah, you better name all
Yeah.
the people that are big patrons right
Exactly.
off the bat. I'm kidding.
I'm just messing with you.
No, you don't need to name a successor.
No.
But if you think of somebody, I mean, it has happened a couple times. Like
You can email
Sam was
Scott
suggested by Amy.
10jokemiles@gmail.com.
Yeah. You could just
maybe,
email the show.
or you could, you know,
You're out of the chat as
the
of.
nation could chime in.
You could have like a contest.
No,
to see who
no,
could-
no.
Like largest
Popularity.
Patreon does it, or
No, it's not a donation thing.
whoever gives the most new names, so that they kind of drag
Oh,
that
come
Patreon
on. We're
out
not
a little
that.
bit.
We're not that like capitalist. Come on. It's not the highest bidder. It gets to be the next person.
I wonder what the bid would be.
How would we find out without actually
Yes,
taking
it
it?
is.
We could raffle off guest spots.
Oh
What
my
if we-
Christ. And we could buy votes.
We could sell votes.
It's a great idea.
What if we say whoever contributes the most to Patreon, and then pick somebody after everybody outbids each other, but never reveal what anybody contributed.
Yeah. I don't know, but it's gonna be.
We
It's gonna
wouldn't
be
necessarily
sad.
have to pick the highest one then.
Whenever I think about that seat, I always think it's Rachel's seat, even
I know,
though
right?
a lot of other women have
It's
sat in
been
that seat.
every girl's seat.
But it
Except for
seems like
Holly.
it's
I don't
Rachel's.
like that seat.
Mostly because Rachel's left more shit next to that chair than anybody
yeah.
that's ever sat. Like I've given her like things to take home, she leaves it there. So it's always like, yeah, that's Rachel's chair.
I'm marking my territory.
Yeah, she just peed on it a little bit.
Rachel should sign the dick.
Just a little bit. Yeah, you should sign the dick
Yeah.
before you go. And listeners, don't be sad. This has happened before, and we got through it. You know, like Allison Rosen, that's a good example. It's happened on that show, 10 times. And every time I remember the first OG gang when they left, I was like, fuck, I'm not gonna listen. I don't even know who these people are. And now, little time goes by. And then you
I
get to
still
know
have
them.
my favorites on the show though too.
So, any other thing you want to say before you go?
Keep running, even though I probably won't.
Be consistent.
You won't keep running?
Consistent.
Why won't
Buy-
you keep
buy
running?
Rachel
Be
shirt.
consistent.
Be consistent.
Why won't you
Running
keep...
fit.
Shots!
Yeah. Well, we will miss you.
I was trying to trick her into saying running food.
We will miss you.
It worked.
Scott hit the beeps 10 times.
Oh my Christ.
Stuck
It was a challenge.
Stuck it.
He thought because we're placing bets, I'm gonna actually do it.
Yeah. I'll have to. Oh my god, I
I
can't.
also made a bet with Kyla.
Quietly.
I wasn't gonna eat her cake. Like the other night, I said I don't want to eat it because I've been eating right, and she's like, "You're gonna have it on Thursday," and I'm like, "No, I'm not." She's like, "I bet you, if you eat cake, whoever, if you eat cake, then I get to pick the movies for the next month. And so I made the bet, but she didn't notice. So we'll see. Maybe she's holding it. She's gonna.
Oh yeah, she's gonna
she's gonna be
just pounce
watching
on you.
But the great thing about her is for like a month.
She doesn't really
She's gonna
want
be
to pick the movie
crying.
though. Like she'll be like, she just wants to win.
Who doesn't?
Right. The Bear-Stained Bears.
Berenstain.
God damn it!
10 junk miles.
Ten junk miles. How's that?
Yeah, I can hear you.
Okay, good. All right. So where are you calling from?
San Antonio, Texas.
And what is your real life job?
I am going to virtual first grade with my daughter, and I also coach runners. And I also teach for Knowles Wilderness Medicine, and I teach some field courses, and I run a nonprofit, and every now and again I clean my house.
Yeah, we forgot the nonprofit the first time. That's important. We got to throw that in. All right. How did you get into running originally?
My dad was a runner, and so I was aware of running originally, and then it was kind of like an accessible sport, and so when after I graduated college, I decided I was going to run a marathon as kind of a check off thing, and so I did, and then it turned out to be something that I really enjoyed.
Does he run still?
My dad?
Yeah.
No, he injured his back in the first Gulf War lifting weights. They had this makeshift weight set, and he injured his back, and so that really put an end to his running, and he took up cycling. But now he fly fishes.
Are you training for anything currently?
I am. I was training for Mad City 100K, but it was canceled. So now I'm training for the Brazos Bend 100.
Nice.
Which we will see.
That'll probably be pretty competitive then, right? If that's.
Well, I think just because people are like, there's nothing else now.
Yeah. And then he said he's a Western States qualifier now too, so he's excited about that.
So I think it's gonna be it'll be interesting to see how they end up kind of working that race. So.
How did you find 10 junk miles?
My friend Rachel told me about 10 junk miles. She said, you need to listen to this. You would really like it. And I did.
Something about you that no one would in a million years guess.
That's such a good one. I don't know, Scott. I'm a weirdo. Like, people would be like, oh yeah, I believe that. I don't know. I'm a big ABBA fan.
Oh,
is that good?
That's good. That's interesting.
Yeah, exactly. Not necessarily good.
When I asked the question, my answer in my head was that you're introverted.
Oh yeah, totally. Good grief. Yeah, this is exhausting right now.
which is weird, But
yeah.
Anyway, okay. Is there anybody that you think that I should have interviewed that I haven't?
You should interview Chris Russell.
He's on my list. Yeah.
Good. Yeah. Pillar of the San Antonio community. Really, actually interested in what people are running and why.
Is there anyone that I interviewed that you particularly liked?
I really, really enjoyed your interview with Derek Murphy, Marathon Investigator Fellow.
The one where we talk about the run bum, or the original one?
The second one. Yeah. I thought that it was a well done interview. Like, you asked questions and listened to answers, and y'all had disagreements in a very professional way, and it was just it was definitely one of those driveway moments. I was like, I'm gonna keep running.
What's great about that one is that there was no agenda, there was no prep, and it was just two people talking. That's it, just like friends catching up. That was what
in the way that you want people to talk. Like, we disagree about this.
Yeah.
Continue.
Well, and we kind of draw a box around the part where we're not going to reach agreement, and then we just move on to the next thing, or whatever. But I mean, me and him are pretty good friends, and we strongly disagree on a lot of stuff.
And I think it was just really impressive. It was one of those things where I just felt like I would like other people to listen to this. This would be good if people could do this, right?
I try.
And I think that just the conversation about social shaming and is really interesting.
Okay, you're going to a desert island, and you can take one album, one book, and one movie.
Okay, listen, I have been trying to get through the Team of Rivals by Kearns Goodwin for about 2 years now, and so I would bring that book with me.
So your choice is to take a book you're having trouble getting through.
Well, it's because of lack of time, and then I wouldn't have the time to get through it. It's amazing. It's wonderful.
But then
I
for
love
99
Lincoln.
years, you're going to wonder why you brought this book.
No, I'm going to be like, thank God I got through it. Success.
I love Doris Kearns Goodwin, too. So
Yeah.
I like her baseball writing. So, okay, movie.
I don't know. So for the longest time, you know what I would do? We're gonna be like, wah, wah, wah. I would totally bring this documentary about World War One that I've been going through.
And do you know who it's by?
I can't remember right now.
Okay, I'll have to figure it out. World War
Yeah,
One
I will send it to you.
documentary.
Yep.
And then an album.
Well, I guess I'd have to say ABBA, wouldn't I?
Like greatest hits or
Yes, ABBA's greatest hits.
did you know that they did a and you can Google this video of them doing Pick a Bale of Cotton, which is just bizarre. It's like a white Swedish group doing a slave song.
It's all bizarre. I went down a rabbit hole recently. It's all bizarre.
I just went down because I did a hour-long interview